Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I am Nerdarchist Ted, and I'm joined by some fellow nerds here, and we're going to play some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. This is our Untraditionally Arcane, episode 11. This is the game where all of these wonderful people are playing wizards, but none of them are of the 8 core subclasses because magic has gone awry. There are 8 arcane vessels of power that have all been tampered with, messed with, and magic is not working properly for those schools. So this illustrious group has been put together to try and fix and see what's going wrong. So far, 2 of the vessels have been adjusted, fixed, corrected, however you want to call it, and they're getting ready to set out on their 3rd of these said vessels. But before we go any further, let's jump in and say, a thank you to our sponsor, Easy Roller Dice. Whether it's your first set of dice or your 1 million set of dice, Easy Roller Dice for all of your dice rolling needs. Frag is holding up the Easy Roller Dice tray. Super
I like
it. So they're our dice company of choice. Go check them out. There's going to be a link down in the description, as well as a promo code to be able to go get 20% off if you're a first-time customer. Also down in that description is a link to where you'll find all of these wonderful people and where you might be able to find them on the internet where applicable. Wink, wink, Frag. So I'm going to throw it around, allow each of these wonderful people to introduce themselves. And I always start with the person who I'm ever so thankful to do the production of this wonderful game, Jake.
Hey, internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and that's where you can find me when I'm not here. You can find me over on Monday nights DMing the campaign Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries, and you can find me occasionally mixing up Ted's character's name on Thursday nights on the Dawnbringers. We are in our sixth season, The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and we just announced that we are moving. Some of our shows that were over on Big Bearded Nerd are coming back or coming over to Mini Terrain Domain. So there's going to be Star Wars and there's going to be Call of Cthulhu and a lot more games showing up on the Mini Terrain Domain channel. And I am playing the Beardomancer, Ordo Wonderbeard. That's me in a nutshell. I'm going to throw it up. Nope, poor choice of words. I'm going to pass the baton to Frag.
Up chuck to me. I got it. I'm Fraginator. You can find me here. And when I'm not here, you can't find me because that's how I like it. I am playing Avtok Treebender, the Loxodon Order of Scribes wizard. And I will pass it to the new guy.
Hello, my name is Carlos. Fan and friend of Nerdarchy. I'm a junior YouTuber, so I am very happy to be with this illustrious group of people. I'm happy to be invited here to play some D&D, and I will be playing Phlox Findfender, a human Order of the Peacock Nerdarchy subclass, and I will pass it to Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin. I write weird fiction. Go read books. It'll help your brain. I'm playing Drow Bladesinger Chesseline, and if you're wondering why I keep grinning like an idiot, it's because my baby is smiling at me off camera. Asa.
Hi, I'm Asa. I'm with Roll for Mischief. Links are all in the thing down below. And I am playing Joshua, the ever Winnie the Pooh scared character. Oh, that voice is going to be really rough today. I've been getting over a cold.
It's been rough the whole time, Asa.
Yeah, but it's going to be much worse.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you're having issues, you can pull back on the voice or the accent. We'll all forgive you.
It's just going to be bad, like worse than usual. That's all.
So as always, the links are down in the description if you want to go, follow these wonderful people after the stream is over, of course. But let's dive in. As we kind of ended last time, we kind of were in a holding pattern to find out whether we were indeed going to have an illustrious apprentice join you. So you see, please describe what Phlox looks like followed by a Aarakocra, very much with a peacock plumage, bright blue and green glistening feathers fanning out behind him, walking towards the lot of you, standing there at the teleportation sigil. Go ahead, Phlox.
So what you all see is kind of like a very skinny human walking up besides this Aarakocra. He's walking finely, kind of elegantly, and as he approaches you all with his tiny familiar Peacock, Fine, his name's Fine, he says, he greets you all like, please allow me to do the dance of friendship. And he proceeds to he does a kind of a little dance to kind of greet you all. If it means anything, I got a 9 for performance.
All right, all of you can interpret that as you see fit, unless as with our campaigns go, we always start off with the players having inspiration, and this is your first impression. Do you wish to use yours already and go ahead and re-roll that 9?
I will allow the dice lay where they are.
Sure.
But if you would allow it, the dance is kind of my way to do kind of like a inspiring leader. Instead of speaking for 10 minutes, I'm just dancing around to give everybody +9 temporary hit points.
Okay.
So as this human in very fanciful clothes dances in a way of greeting for 10 minutes, you look on, the dance itself doesn't seem all that impressive to you, but yet something takes hold. And you do feel somewhat bolstered with this new companion who has not really said a whole lot.
That was a very strange greeting, but for some reason I feel healthier.
I have a very important question about Phlox. Does he have a beard?
He does not have a beard, but he has heard stories of the Wonderbeard. And as a man of as a man who appreciates the fine things in life, he does approaches your beard and says, "May I please touch?" And he's kind of really enthralled with the beauty of your beard.
As he should be. I will allow it.
So
Don't get too close, it bites.
he's kind of petting it the way he would pet his familiar.
It's petting you back.
He pulls back. Oh,
Told you.
So as you begin kind of like, stroking the side of the beard, handful of the hairs kind of like reach up around and begins like slowly petting your hand.
He's like, oh, he pulls back and almost like try to pull his man like, oh. And then he realized, oh, it's just the Wonderbeard.
I love that he comes in and refers to him as the Wonderbeard. Ordo likes this. Ordo will remember this.
After observing your wonderful dance, Joshua will step forward and just embrace you in a great big hug and say, "I can tell by your dance we are going to be best of friends." I am a very tall, portly tiefling.
And he, Phlox gives you a nod. And he's like, "I think we could flock together."
Birds of a feather and all of that.
Gives you kind of another bow.
So the kind of missed by the fact that the brightly dressed Peacock and his apprentice are standing there. you kind of didn't notice the satyr, Zam, kind of lingering around. Well, but he kind of leans past and says, "So, you are still looking to head off towards the sigil so that we might continue with the thoughts of calling forth a celestial and asking questions?"
That was the idea, yes.
So I don't know whether you wish to have anything else said or whether you wish to head on out.
Well, do you think that there's anything else that we need to discuss first?
Does your replacement companion meet your needs and desires?
Oh, he's coming with us. And Chess like kind of turns and gives him a once over, and it's like quasi clear that she's a little bit iffy about this.
I look at Chess and go, he has fancy feet.
He does have fancy feet.
Chess, this is my new best friend. We can trust him.
I fly where the flock goes.
He has my endorsement.
Okay, are you ready for what we're about to face? Because this is going to be really dangerous.
I believe I am up to the challenge.
I hope you cast spells better than you dance.
Where I studied magic, we studied spells with rhythmic motion.
Oh dear.
You'll find my spell casting useful.
The place that you are traveling towards is referred to as the Chaos Waste, the Barren Lands. Raw magic, uncontrolled magic dwells here. Where you are headed is into literally pure chaos.
I will follow the rhythm of chaos and do what I must.
I would say to a lot of you, expect the unexpected, but even when you expect the unexpected, unexpected things can still happen.
I would expect nothing less.
Excellent. And you're as prepared as you could possibly be. For there, anything can happen. You are looking for a sigil engaged upon the ground with a portal floating above it. It can go to varying places as it is a constant element of change. So you never know if something is going to come out of it, and if so, what it is. It is one of the things that has, beyond bolstering the power of conjuration magic, it is one of the things that has led rampant problems on the plane, but no effects have ever been able to shut it down, to stop these random teleportations or planar shifts from happening, and why the wastes look the way they do.
Yay.
I'm sure we'll figure out what we're doing. I'm sure we'll manage to resolve this with due haste.
As long as wine remains wine, the chaos will be fine.
Well, this is not the plane of transmutation, so
I'm also aiming to collect a few bottles of wine to take with me.
Are you throwing those in my pack since you're a weakling?
Avtalk, you can hold these, right?
I'm pretty sure I have everything.
So
Yeah,
as
see, he'll carry them in his trunk.
That's right.
so like as
Give me to it, Ted. I was drinking.
Sorry.
yeah, so as Flock sees Joshua putting the wine away, he's like, "Oh, he brought the dancing juice."
Of course, of course. I like to have a jig myself, and the juice helps.
How many bottles of wine do you have?
3.
20. I rolled a d20, and that's what I rolled. That's how many bottles of wine I'm packing.
I sincerely doubt that you are carrying between you and Avtok 20 bottles of wine.
Not
I
with that
might just
attitude.
be putting some into Ordo's beard and
I was gonna say
sneaking a
I
few
can
into-
probably put 1 or 2 into my beard.
All right, we'll cut that in half. We'll say that somehow you've got 10 bottles of wine.
I'm trying to bring 20, but that's as many as we can fit.
10 bottles
Said
of wine in the
no.
beer.
As
Like drinking it on his way out.
as Joshua comes walking forward, arms full, bent over, there's 2 bottles on the floor that he's pushing with his feet that are just rolling along.
I'm still 127 pounds away from being over encumbered. I'm fine. Bring on the booze.
It's not so much a matter of weight. It's about how would you be carrying it. If you're not going to carry them in like a crate and just hold it, there's no way to have them transported safely. Like one slip, one move, and those bottles are getting smashed.
Have one of us not
I feel like
invested
we need
in
a wine
bag of
cellar of
holding yet?
holding.
Yes.
Okay, but if those bottles break in the bag of holding, then everything is going to get soaked. No, we
No,
do
no.
not need that much. What could you possibly need that much wine for, Joshua?
What would
Molotov
you
cocktail.
not need that much wine for?
That is a logical fallacy. I'm not sure which one, but I'm sure it exists. No, we are not taking that much wine with us.
You're right. You're right. Two
Too
bottles
much
apiece
wine,
should
put
do it.
some back.
I'm just gonna start handing everybody 2 bottles, and then start rolling the other ones back.
But you hand a bottle with the fine.
You are pretty sure that the Aarakocra that's there is absolutely looking down upon all of this with disdain.
I'll hand him a bottle too.
Well, Phlox, I wish you luck in this mission, despite some of your companions.
Thank you, Headmaster Walter.
And he gives a very elegant and graceful bow.
And now we'll bow in kind.
And he turns and says, Master, pointing towards Zam, and he begins walking away. Zam says, I think you've got everything. Are you collected? Got plenty to drink. He's a satyr. He's absolutely not judging the wine.
He's nodding along like this is right.
This is fine.
You have your return stone, and he hands over the stone that's got the sigil of the school of conjuration. He just kind of holds it out towards a lot of you. This
We'll take it.
will take you as close as is safely able.
Okay.
And
Got-
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say we've got our bottles of not quite holy water, the anti-holy water that we made.
Indeed.
The wine? No.
There's a reason why we brought the wine to help administer the holy water, obviously.
I look at
Come on.
Joshua and wink slyly. Totally not sneakily, though. Go, the wine is for our ritual, and we drink it as soon as we get there. Both bottles, all of us.
Absolutely not.
I have no problem
Fine
with
then.
this.
I did roll a
course you
16
don't.
after my -1 for deception, if
It
that
is-
helps.
We are going to be dealing with chaos magic.
Exactly.
Perhaps we should approach it chaotically.
Oh.
You may feel free to do as you will.
Perhaps the more inebriated we are, the more finer we'll be.
My
I see no
sediment
flaw
is
in your
out.
logic.
Let's do it.
Chug!
We're all gonna die. Or you're all going to die. You know what? On second thought, go ahead and drink the wine. And I just flash a playful grin and head in the direction we're meant to be going.
Well, at this point in time, like all you have to do is just kind of like activate the stone, and everyone in the sigil will teleport.
All right, let's go.
All right, so you feel the same usual pull at your middle, and the sensation of darkness comes around all of you, and in just a moment, all of your surroundings vastly change. You
hear Avtok say, "Please, not the beard dimension."
You appear in the middle of a barren wasteland. What foliage grows is oddly colored and even more oddly shaped. The air around you just sounds wrong. You can taste the vast amounts of energy in this place. You can smell the wind howl as the storm brews in the not so far distance.
So I wrote a 16 for a con save. I don't know, to see how Phlox felt flying through the chaotic dimension.
Well, with that roll, the descriptions that I just read, all of your senses are wrong. You're tasting color, you're seeing smells, everything. As this energy kind of washes over you, you're having to almost relearn all of your inputs.
Where does the wine go then?
So I'm like trying oh, what's happening? I don't feel like myself. Almost like Phlox is on a bad acid trip or something. Just like I don't feel really well.
You don't hear like yourself.
So are the rest of us experiencing synesthesia as well?
Absolutely.
That's a word.
I think this is the time to figure out where the wine goes.
I'll chug a bottle.
As will Joshua. I won't chug the bottle, but I definitely will drink from the bottle.
Oh no!
Right.
I pop a bottle and I pull from inside my beard a proper wine glass and pour a nice. Okay, this is not going at all how I expected it. As I'm smelling the wine, but
as you smell it, it sounds really well, and as you begin to drink it, it looks really good.
I actually like this way better than the beard dimension. I'm not gonna lie.
You've got to let the tannins mellow, Ordo. Let them sit and breathe for a moment, and then I will take another sip of the wine, not heeding my own advice.
So like as Phlox is trying to get his faculties together, he attempts to kind of open his bottle, but you see him kind of kicking around a little bit.
So is Chess the only one who doesn't open a bottle of wine?
She is absolutely not opening a bottle of wine. She's just standing there feeling the sensation of blue or something.
She's tasting blue.
It's a good thing we let the responsible one have the stone of returning.
Mm-hmm.
So as your companions are kind of more interacting with the wine than with anything else, you do notice a building in the distance, in a fenced area not too far away from it. It's a little bit of a hike, but it's the only discernible element in this area beyond the scrub brush type foliage and like the distant mountains and the storm that is apparently tasting in the distance.
All right, so I'm about ready to guide everybody's acid trip. I'm like glancing back. I'm gonna let them finish their drinks and then like usher the group in that direction.
Yeah, how far away does that building sound?
It'll probably take you about a half hour to get there. You can barely make out the building and the fence, but
I wonder if distance functions the same way. Also, I feel
What?
strangely comfortable here. Like this is how the world should be. And I'm pretty sure I don't know magic.
So like, I'm
Follow
gonna
me,
like,
I know the way.
so like, I'm gonna say like, it's about maybe 3 or 4 bites that way, and I try to grab out to hold someone's hand, but I end up holding the Wonder Beard. And I'm assuming the beard holds my hand back, but because I'm
Oh,
still
yeah.
out of it, I don't even know. Like I'm like, okay, order, let's go.
Wherever they go, I go, pointing at Jesselyn. Lead the way.
And I do so as best as I can, considering my feet are like tasting the ground with every step.
Oh.
If it helps, I'll take the lead.
I imagine you're actually wearing boots as part of your gear, so it's not
Oh,
like
yes.
you're tasting the ground so much as
The insides of my shoes is not better, Ted.
It's less sandy.
it's not drenched in pure chaos magic.
No, just foot sweat.
Have you ever walked a dog and had the dog constantly like cut you off to be in front?
Uh-huh.
That's what
Yes.
Avtalk is doing to whoever is currently trying to lead because of
I'm
his
just gonna
like,
climb up on
passenger.
his shoulders and like grab his ears and steer him.
Perfectly okay with this.
Oh my word. Well, there's a reason you guys call yourself the Chaos Crew.
What fan art of a drow riding a Loxodon?
If we happen to have any resident artists, please, I'm using the same.
Ordo's beard has become like one of those chains in kindergarten where all the just holding everybody together. You're on a field
Joshua
trip.
begins whistling and watching the whistle come out as bubbles.
Yeah, so like Phlox is walking like he literally has 2 left feet dancing, and he's thankful for the beer keeping him on track. He's just kind of like, oh, okay, this way. All right, let's go.
So whether it be because you're not really paying attention to time, whether it's this place is odd and distance is not what you think, the house comes into view far faster than you were expecting.
It's the opposite of the 3-hour tour I expect.
When you look at it, the first thing you notice is the fence. All of the pillars are made of stone. There is a small-ish kind of hut within the fenced area that's got a metal building. You hear some sound of things scratching within the building, and I'm going to use the real senses. You guys know that you'll reinterpret them. It'll be utter chaos on all of us to try and constantly have everything in the wrong
Right.
cycle.
Feel a scratching in my throat.
And then there is a stone house. That is the building that you've been heading towards, but it is seated behind this this fenced-in area. But the house is stone, and it appears to be a lot of different types of stone all worked together to make this small, no more than 2 or 3 room dwelling. There is a little bit of plant life that looks like it could be farmed, and you imagine whatever is within the fenced area is some element of farm creature. What do you guys do?
We have arrived.
I will look at the hut and say, "Hut, hut, turn your back to the forest and your front to me."
Is there a door?
Are you looking to go into the fence, or are you talking about to the building?
I'm talking to the hut, the building. Yep.
I'm looking for a door on the building. I figure I can hop the fence if there isn't a gate.
No, there is the main house. It's like a 2 or 3 room house made of stone, and then aside from that, there is a fenced-in area with a small metal.
Oh, okay. The house.
I was talking to the house as well.
Okay. Yeah, there is absolutely a door, and it too is made of stone, hinged with metal set into the actual structure.
I was expecting more skulls and chicken legs. Oh well. This will have to do, and I'll go reach for the door of the hut or the house.
Are you knocking or are you just opening it?
Does the idea to knock come into my head chaotically?
That is entirely up to you, sir. I cannot control your character.
I also can't. I have a ghost inside me. Yeah, I'll knock.
Okay.
I rolled smart enough to knock.
So before too long, less than a minute, the door opens, and do you have much exposure, a lot of you, to Genasi?
A little out of my element with that one.
Nice one, Bragg.
I'd say I have.
I would say probably. I think that I'm fairly well traveled with the hunt of names.
So you would imagine that this is an Earth Genasi, with the caveat of like the dark brown and gray mottled skin. Biggest notation is the fact that his right arm looks to be made entirely of stone, like from shoulder down to fingers. Well, I wasn't quite expecting some travelers in this forsaken land. What brings you about?
Feet.
We came in. I turn back to everyone else. What are we looking for again? And I will pick out my second bottle of wine.
The sigil.
All right, we came in search of a sigil, something about conjuring angels. I seem to be remembering.
We need to find the summoning sigil. It's broken. We need to fix it.
That's quite a distance from here. And I might know where you might be able to find it. With that storm approaching, I'm not looking to go out. If you're willing to head out into it, do me a favor before it comes on full, I can tell the direction to go.
What do you need?
Points off towards the fenced area. I raise my little chips, and one of them seems to have gotten out of late. He holds up what looks to be a small spiked collar. You notice that the name tag says Mama. She slipped a collar. Found this on the fence this morning.
And this is a chicken?
Not quite.
Phlox kind of pulls his Peacock familiar closer to him, hoping that it's not mistaken for his pet.
Let me show you my flock.
Okay.
And he walks out and heads into the fenced area. You can stay here. You can obviously see through the wire fence. You can see that it's actually kind of domed over, and you can see, I think one of you has got somewhat of a decent passive perception. You see that there's an area that looks like the fence was rewired recently. He kind of goes in and scatters some food from a bucket and just kind of like raps on the metal door or the metal hut that's in there. And you hear more of that scrabbling. And when you see the creatures that come out, they resemble chickens, except they're a little bit more reptilian.
Oh God, are these cockatrices?
They are indeed.
Ah, okay.
Wonder how
They're
many
cute in an ugly
feathers.
kind of way.
So you see, half a dozen to a dozen of these things kind of come out and begin kind of pecking at the food that he scattered amongst the ground. He rattles off a handful of names. Yeah, see, this is my flock. They do all right, and they kind of sell for a bit now and again when travelers come by.
How do you prevent them from turning people to stone or turning you to stone?
Number one, don't let them bite you.
That's what I was thinking.
And number two, kind of holds up his hand that's entirely stone.
Right, right. That makes sense.
There's
There's a
bit
dad
of
joke there
power.
somewhere.
There's a bit of power in this place, and I didn't quite look like this when I decided to move in. And this place, you stay here long enough, it'll change you.
Sounds like if you spend too much time around these chickens, you'll get stoned. I'll elbow Avtok and offer my wine to him.
I don't think he gets it.
He inquires.
I took the wine.
So Flox is going to inquire, are they trained and then ask Fine to do a dance? Kind of like a little peacock dance. Or,
they-
are they trained like that?
Are they trained to dance? No.
Uh,
Why would you train a cockatrice to dance?
Imagine the art form you could bring to this. It will be a stunning sensation.
Do you wanna come on as my apprentice and try and train him? Train him?
With my -1 to animal handling, I'm not sure I can handle anything outside my familiar. But Flox kind of gestures. I am more into the performing arts. But perhaps after I'm done my apprenticeship, I may come back. And let me see what I got a 17 for deception.
Well, if that be decide what you want to do, don't think I'm going anywhere anytime soon. And as he kind of is like looking at you, the one, the larger of the ones that are here, kind of slowly begins creeping up to, this farmer, and it kind of like quick lunges and pecks at his stony hand, and he's like, "Oh, come on, get!" He just kind of like waves the hand, and all of them kind of like flee back into the metal building.
Might we have use of your collar for when we find the beast?
Yeah, I think that would be best. If you gonna get this honor, she'll be a little bit more docile.
And I will take the collar and give a nod. And I'm still looking like a little bit unsteady because of the whole sensory nonsense.
So
Okay.
I think at this point you would notice Ordo's his entire posture has completely changed. He's sort of right up by the fence, maybe leaning up on the fence post as he kind of eagerly is looking around. What? You seem to be missing a cockatrice. I think that's something I can help with. And all of you except for Flox would recognize that the gnomish spirit that has inhabited Ordo is manifesting. Can I see that feather?
Spirit comes.
Can I see that collar just a moment?
And I pass it over, and I'm just like smiling because I'm enjoying watching this happen.
As you pass over the collar, I just make the arcane gestures, and I cast the summon beast spell, the druid spell that the spirit of Willow Brambleberry can cast. And I'm going to cast it in the shape of a bloodhound.
Okay.
Good thinking.
Yep. And then I'm going to hold out the collar and say, all right, girl, taste this or smell it or listen to it or something. Not quite sure how things work here, but. And just hold it down to the bloodhound. Let's see if we can find some kind of a trail on this. Don't worry, we'll get your mama back.
So go ahead and give me a survival check at advantage.
It turns out that Willow Brambleberry is skilled in survival. Survival.
I don't know whether your modifier is better or the bloodhound is better, but
Well, let's see. Actually, Summon Beast has its own stat block. Survival is. Yeah, I think mine's gonna be better.
That's fine.
With advantage, you say?
Indeed, so yes.
That is a natural 20 for a total of 24.
Excellent. Excellent. So as you kind of head off into the direction that the bloodhound is pointing, all of you feel this kind of pulse, very similar to what happened when you first arrived. And is Ordo holding on to kind of like a leash for this conjured beast? Is it just kind of staying by your side? Are you using just your beard to kind of hold on to the fur?
Not holding it at all. This is a trained or a summoned bloodhound. I think it just goes off on its own and we follow the taste of its barks. I don't know how this works.
So as you begin kind of following the bird,
Bird.
Sorry. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if Flox is in front of me, or no, Flox is a human.
As you're following this bloodhound, you feel like there's resistance when you're taking a step. Like you have to pry your foot up off the ground, and then you take your next step, and it's even harder. And you realize over the course of like 2 or 3 steps, something is growing out of the bottom of your feet, and you are rooting to the ground. And as you come to this realization, you are now a shrub.
Just Ordo?
Just Ordo.
So
we should take a rest. I'm bushed.
I just imagine that as I start to follow after this bloodhound and start to make this realization, you just would see Ordo's beard just go and then start growing leaves and become this bush.
So what do the rest of you do as
our friend becomes a fucking shrub?
So like I would assume I'm not sure if I'm still holding on to his beard.
So you are holding on to a branch of the shrub.
So I just kind of get caught like, guys, what's happening?
Don't worry, his bark's
Frankly,
worse than his bite.
I've been lost since that dog showed up. Did he just summon that out of nowhere?
All right.
Everything is what it isn't. So we need to. I pull the wine out and water the shrub with the wine.
All right, Avtok, what are you doing?
Trying not to continue making puns about him being a freaking shrub.
All right. So, Chess and Ordo, please go ahead and roll a d20.
Oh boy. 15.
What do you have, Chess?
I'm sorry, what am I rolling?
Just a d20.
20.
All right. So the shrub returns to normal. But as you dump the wine, you also feel a pulse of energy kind of come out of Ordo as he returns back to his typical dwarven form mere scant seconds after his bizarre transformation. The only issue, the only memory, the only thing that shows that it happened is this turned up soil of where he pulled up roots. But as this energy kind of washes over to you, you feel like invigorated. You have an extra second level spell slot.
Cool.
Way to go,
Okay.
Chesseline. You got to the root of the problem. More wine is always the answer.
We need to go before anything else weird happens.
I agree. As I go and just pull a single leaf out of my mouth.
Leave
Oh,
that alone.
So you're saying you want to leave this place?
yes. I would like to leave this place.
Not get a, just plant it, right?
Question, did that disrupt my concentration on my bestial spirit?
Nope.
Okay.
But as it is your spell, it is entirely up to you, Jake, as to whether the dog kind of looped back when you guys did not follow, whether it stayed at your side when you were just a bush, or whether it's completely just heading off and you guys have to chase it down.
I
What's
think
it gonna be?
I think it would get, less, not quite 100 feet away and just kind of stop and turn and just kind of give a few barks at us.
All right,
Wow.
so you guys are able to catch back up to the dog and continue. So go ahead and give me another survival roll at advantage.
Ooh, natural 20. Different die, but that's another natural 20.
This really is the chaos
The
plane.
opposite, yeah, right. Every time I roll with advantage, one of them is a single digit, and the other one is a 20. So that's another 24 on survival.
Awesome. So the dog is confident and continues to head in the exact direction that it was leading before. And all of you feel this pulse of energy yet again, and storm cloud appears overhead, a crackle of lightning, and it begins to rain, and you're all drenched in flower petals for the next 10 minutes.
That seems about right.
I'll start braiding them into a flower petal crown for everyone,
Well,
especially for Chess, because as the straight man of this group, she definitely needs a flower petal crown.
She is just full of goth rage right now.
you realize you can kick your ass, right?
Oh, I'm 3 bottles in at this point. It doesn't matter.
I look and realize he stole
All right.
one of mine.
All right. Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Well, this depends on whether or not it's actually wine. But that is a 9.
So you are absolutely inebriated at the moment.
I'm pretty sure I had to eat the last bottle of wine. It wouldn't drink any longer.
So as he begins talking, what is Joshua's hair like? Are you?
He has slick black, white hair, and then a really closely cropped beard that he's been growing with since he left the beard dimension.
So all of you kind of watch as he begins talking. The hair kind of begins to knit and braid together completely on its own, and it forms like octopus tendrils. So like he's got these dreads of kind of Cthulhian tentacles coming off of his head and kind of slowly growing in a beard as well.
Roll for initiative. Imagine.
Well, that's new.
I'm keeping my mouth shut on this one.
Oh God.
Me too.
Okay. Clearly, God is not here. All right. Do we see this cockatrice yet?
Not as of yet. I mean, right now the rain of flower petals is distorting some of your vision.
I'm just gonna close my eyes and keep going. I have no doubt that I can see anyway.
Could I like so I'm probably gonna use my robe as kind of like a shelter to try to keep some of the flower
Sure,
petals out of my vision.
sure. Give me one more check there, Ordo.
All right, let's see if I can go 3 for 3. I'm going to grab 2 completely different dice. Oh, that's 14, 18. Not a natural 20, but
All right. Well, I was hoping for 3 natural 20s in a row there, but you couldn't you couldn't make it happen.
couldn't make it happen.
But as you kind of come around, like there's a big stone block that's kind of in the way of the path. And as you kind of round it, the dog kind of like stops and just pointing with their muzzle forward, and about 100 feet away, kind of scratching at the remains of a tree. You might call it a cockatrice if it were, not 9 feet tall.
Oh, mama.
It's kind of like pecking away at this, tree, slashing, and you can see its talons kind of rip and rend the kind of mottled bark that's on here, and just like raking it away. And as a lot of you make noise, it kind of turns in your direction.
Did we get a name for the guy who sent us here?
His name is Jeffress.
I feel like Jeffress may have buried the lead on this one.
Or it wasn't this size when it came out here.
This
Didn't
collar
think of
doesn't
that.
look like it would fit that creature.
So, what we can do here is you can go ahead and roll initiative.
But do we have to?
You don't have to.
Yeah.
I'm going
Okay.
Did he say dead or alive? Like, I wasn't clear on that.
I mean, I can have it walk back if it's dead.
That is true.
13.
Hey, I actually go before someone.
I got a solid
I go before 2 someones.
Oh wow. Yeah, I got a good old fashioned 8.
9.
7.
4.
What?
Oh.
It's the
Oh.
chaos
Because you
realm.
guys have been drinking.
Who had 4?
Ordo.
Ordo.
He's still rooted in place back there.
What is your dex mod there, Avtok?
-1.
Okay.
Wait, you have a -1 and I still beat you?
And what do you have, Flux?
7.
7. Chess, what are you doing?
I should look at spells.
Blindness, deafness. On the cockatrice. We're gonna go with blindness.
Sure. What kind of save is that?
I was not expecting to go first. I have to actually Google my spell real quick. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I would normally be more prepared than this. No, okay. Contrary to popular belief, if you type blindness into Google, it doesn't give you the spell. You have to like add 5e to the Google search. Oh no, that doesn't do it either. Okay, spell. Blindness, deafness, spell, not the condition.
Con save.
Thank you.
It's a con save, Robin.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
No. I have D&D Beyond up as a default all the time.
Even when he doesn't play D&D.
So
Yeah, right.
I have a significantly over 20 number. So I do.
No, that's gonna pass.
Fail. No.
Do you move at all?
We're gonna say yes as a default. I'm gonna be moving in circles around it. I believe I can activate my blade song as a bonus action. Let me check real quick.
Okay.
I didn't make it. Yes, I can as a bonus action. It's up on the top paragraph. Yes, I do that. So I'm just gonna be like doing a circle, like 10 feet in a circle around this thing every round.
All right. Come on, stop doing that. So this thing kind of, watches you kind of looking to go for a flank, and it kind of sees the nice squishy Loxodon, and it charges over at Avtok.
Can't touch this.
It's going to be 21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Not grab the right dice. You are not going to like the result.
I don't think I would like the result anyway.
That is mathing here. That is 22 points of piercing damage as this big old beak comes flying in at your shoulder.
That's a couple.
I remember you have 10 hit points.
Yep, that's the only thing that kept me from not being bloodied.
Hey, cool.
Thank you.
I do need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Good thing I have a high con. That's not going to matter. I got an 8.
You are going to get rocked.
So you feel from where it hit your shoulder, you feel the stone kind of beginning to kind of like come out of the wound, and you feel yourself kind of changing.
Ruh-roh.
You're up.
Yeah, that's going to change what I'm going to do. Can I get a wisdom saving throw, please?
What are you doing?
I'm going to cast Mind Spike on him. Reach into the mind of this creature.
It has a 10.
So that will fail. And it will take 3d8 psychic damage. Once I can find an 8. 6 plus 8 is 14. 17 psychic damage. And huh, interesting. As long as it's on this plane of existence, I know where it is. And while I have this knowledge, it can't become hidden from me. And if it's invisible, it gains no benefit from that. Weird. Wait. Oh yeah, never mind. I didn't. Go ahead.
Right. So you watch as it kind of like reels back, at your spell. Crap.
And then I'm running away from it.
All right, you're leaving its threatened area?
Yeah, I don't want to risk it coming after me again.
All right.
Don't hit me.
It will use its reaction and will probably miss. It's a 12?
Yes. Armor class 15.
All right. So Joshua, you're up.
I'm gonna scream, "I'll protect you, Avrok!" And I'm gonna charge towards this thing and try to headbutt it with my tiefling horns.
Okay.
When I do make connection, a burst of chaotic energy erupts from my forehead. So I'm actually casting Chaos Bolt, and I recognize it's going to be a disadvantage because I'm like,
hey, for calling me Avrok, you can have my inspiration to give you a straight roll.
well, shit, okay. I already rolled the die. I mean, I'll take the straight roll. But that's a 10.
Wow.
A 10 to hit?
Yeah.
That is going to miss.
If I didn't already roll the dice, I would have just rolled the 1.
So you connect
Mhm.
solidly with this thing, and it just kind of like looks at you.
And I stumble back a little bit dazed, just like, oh, that was a bad idea.
A little too hard.
Yeah, my eyes are a little bit crossed. That is my movement and my action, and
All right.
I'm done.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna start my turn with a Tasha's Mind Whip.
Okay.
So you need to make a intelligence saving throw.
14.
I am going to use a reaction to cast Silvery Barbs to make a reroll.
Okay. So it's going to be 12.
Okay. Well, the save was 14, so I'm like, okay, well, you would make it. So you're gonna take full damage, which is a whopping 7 psychic damage. And
Hey, Carlos,
yes.
is that save DC 14 with the +1 from your focus?
Oh, I thought it was just spell attack. I didn't know it was
Yeah.
save DC also.
Spell attack and save DCs.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I misheard.
Okay.
So I just burnt first level stuff.
I did that for the first 2 sessions, so I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you.
Not a problem.
So on your next turn, you can only take an action, bonus action, or movement.
Okay. Well, it's got a nice squishy target right in front of it. So
It's not me.
is that all? Is that all you got, Phlox?
Yes.
Ordo.
So the other one right up on it right now is Joshua.
And Phlox is, pretty close behind.
I am going to maneuver
I'm
around.
Also adjacent.
I'm going to
Okay, so
maneuver
you're-
around so that I am 20 feet away from it. And then all of a sudden, as I skid to a halt, I put my hands down on my knees and I go like this. I whip my beard back and forth. I whip my beard back and forth.
Oh no.
And as I do so, I cast Beard Whip, a Beardomancy cantrip. So that'll be a melee spell attack.
I feel like with singing that song, I should do extra psychic damage, though, too.
That's just to you.
I know Flux appreciates the dancing.
Okay. That's a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
It's going to take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as my beard whips around it, and I'm assuming it's a large or smaller creature.
It is.
And kind of leaning back, I'm going to reel in the beard and I'm going to pull it 10 feet towards me, pulling it away from Joshua.
Okay. Now, are you moving so that you were not behind Phlox?
I just maneuvered so that I was 20 feet away from it and not like in the path of anybody.
Okay, all right.
Let's see, that's my movement. That was a can. Oh wait, that's a cantrip. So I still have my
Still have a bonus action.
yeah, I'm just checking because my bloodhound is still active. I haven't gotten hit or anything to lose concentration on it.
Correct.
So the bloodhound should get to just checking if it takes a bonus action or in combat creature shares your initiative count, goes immediately after me. So the bloodhound can attack.
Sure.
It is going to. I don't think it's going to attack though. I think I'm going to have it run around to the other side and start barking furiously, trying to almost like shepherd the cockatrice towards me.
Sure. All right.
That's my turn.
Chess, you're up. And you're muted.
Can you not hear us, Robin?
Robin, we can't hear you.
Right, because my microphone was in the upright position, and I am apparently not hitting on all sixes today. So Chess is going to take a moment to center herself, and then, as part of inflict wounds, make a melee attack with a 25 to hit.
25 hits.
Okay, that's going to be 6 slashing and 32 necrotic, for a total of 38 damage.
Dang.
Does not like that one bit.
Are we trying to kill it or capture it?
Also, I upcast that
Yes.
to level 2 because I had that extra level 2 slot.
Sure. All right. All right. You watch as your blade connects with this thing, and some of the blood like splatters up against you, and you feel like yourself slowed down by the effects. For your next turn, you have disadvantage on all attacks and saves.
Okay.
The creature happens to come after you, looks down at your drow form and the wound that you just kind of left in its side, and it's going to attack.
I don't like to correct the dungeon master, but you're under the effects of Mind Whip, so you got to move.
It's in melee with her.
Oh, sorry. Duh.
It's okay.
I just heard the word move, and I'm like, oh, what?
It is a 24 to hit you, Jess.
Oh yeah. Yes, very much so.
I keep trying to help you all, but the thing is rolling so high that even a shield spell's not going to help.
Right?
With Blade Song active, my AC is 20. But 24 absolutely still hits me.
That's God, I can't.
It's hard.
That's going to be 18 points of damage, and I need a
Ooh.
Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
Con save?
Yes.
That's gonna be a 10.
Front row.
Right, so you too begin to feel the stone coming from where it struck you, kind of growing out, and it was actually supposed to be at the end of your last turn. Avtok, need you to make another save.
Which kind of save?
Con.
That one's better. 15.
All right. So you feel the stone beginning to flake off. It's not completely gone, but you are not as bothered at the moment. I do believe you're up next. Yes.
All right. So I'm going to continue moving away from it until I'm no more than 60 feet, but I don't want to be any closer than like 50 because I'm scared of it. It hurts.
Sure.
And then I will get a intelligence saving throw from you, please. I'm going to cast Mind Sliver.
All right. It's going to be a 15.
All right. That will barely fail. So 8 psychic damage. And the next saving throw it makes, you have to take a d4 away from the roll.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm still concentrating on my mind spikes. So if it tries to run away, I will know where it is.
Sure. Joshua.
It moved away from me, right?
It was moved away from you, but yes.
I'll look around, see if that Avtok is doing okay, and then like kind of realize that I still have a great sword. Grab it in both hands and go, aha! Give it like a test swing.
Sure.
And as I do, a burst of energy will launch from it. Again, I'm casting Chaos Bolt.
Okay.
This time not with disadvantage.
In the chaos zone.
I'm going to use my inspiration to give me advantage.
Sure.
That didn't work. I rolled a 1 and a 4. That's an 11.
All right. Well, I like the fact that you rolled a 1.
Well, the 1 doesn't count because it was the
That's
4
okay.
that I took. But it is a burst of fire that just launches out of the sword and misses.
Right, so as you launch, the fire changes to a purplish hue, and the sky above all of you matches that same purple. So you are now fighting underneath a very purple sky.
Purple rain.
Look up at the sky and just kind of go, how did I do that? And that's my turn.
All right, Phlox, you're up.
So I'm gonna back up to like 90 feet, let's say, to it. Like, let's just back up real fast, buddy. And I'm gonna hit it with another Mind Whip.
It's a wisdom save, right?
Intelligence, sir.
Intelligence. And it's got a minus a d4 from that. I don't think there's any possibility of passing this.
Nat 20.
That's a -2.
Hey, you'll take all 8 damage. So because you didn't use a reaction this time, you're not allowed reactions either now. And the whole
damage?
8.
All right, no reactions. Got it. Is that all you got?
I'm gonna healing word.
Mind Whip. Is Mind Whip a
Talk.
Is Mind Whip a cantrip?
Sorry. Nope, it is not.
Okay.
Good call.
No worries.
End turn.
All right, Ordo, you're up.
So I still have sort of this long tendril of beard. The beard whip doesn't like restrain it or anything, but from where I had pulled it towards me, as I understand it, Chess is the only one kind of engaged, or did you run back up to it?
I think just Chess.
Just Chess, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. and everybody else is sort of spread out further away. So in video game style, still kind of in that position, hands on the knees, Ordo just goes, Ordo's binding beard! And you see all of these tendrils begin to wrap around this one beard whip and just going, and I am going to attempt to use my custom spell to restrain it. So that is a melee spell attack. I'm going to this. Come on, easy roller die. Don't fail me now. I'm going to use my inspiration in a different die. That was a 3.
Oh.
Okay, that is a 23 now.
That hits.
So as this Ordo's binding beard lashes out, it just starts completely wrapping around the cockatrice, which I had pulled it. I'm still doing this from 10 feet away.
Sure.
And it is now completely restrained by the force of the Wonder Beard.
Now, what color is Ordo's hair normally?
I feel like we have answered this before. I'm gonna check to see if I was smart enough to put it on my. Let's see. It says age, mature, height, tall for a dwarf, weight, none of your business. Distinguishing marks, the most magnificent beard, eyes sparkling, skin flawless, hair glorious. So I did not help myself in any way. I think it's salt and pepper.
All right. Well, it was salt and pepper, but at the moment, it is even more glorious than it was previously. Because as of right now, it is gold.
That's magnificent. I'm gonna have to add more onto my name tag here. Ordo, the Golden Wonder Beard.
When did you become
gilded?
The Gilded Wonder Beard.
Is your dog doing anything?
No, because the dog you would have seen going as it just went, because Ordo's binding beard is concentration.
There you go. All right, Chess.
Okay. I think I'm gonna have to disengage.
Okay.
So let's do that.
Sure.
It can't take reactions though because of
Yes.
Mind Whip, right?
Correct. All right. Are you just disengaging and moving away?
I mean, like, it seems as though Ordo's got this.
Sure.
And I would rather not turn into a statue. So I'm gonna disengage. I'm gonna move away and hopefully not roll crappy on my con save this round.
Well, until the end of this turn, you still have that disadvantage. So
I can cancel that out.
okay, well, however you can choose to do so. But roll that con save.
17.
All right. You just as Avtok did, you feel like some of it beginning to fleck away. It's not completely gone, but it does not continue to spread. The creature bound in the massive golden tendril hair of Ordo, it looks in your direction, somewhat struggling against the hair, and it just lets out this screech, this ear-piercing wail. And I need a Constitution saving throw from you, Ordo.
Oh boy. I'm taking a risk using this die because why would I do that? It notoriously rolls low. I'm rolling with this die instead. Are you kidding me? I rolled with the die that I thought was a better bet than the one that notoriously rolls low and rolled a natural 1.
Oh.
Yeah, the one that notoriously rolls low, for the record, I just rolled it and rolled a 17. Always go with your gut, kids.
Chaos zone for you.
So you all of you watch as the the golden beard remains, but you watch as stone begins to grow, starting at Ordo's face.
What grows?
Stone.
Oh,
You are turning into a stone, sir. And it kind of like creeps down the one side, and you watch, and as like tendrils kind of reach down, and as it gets all the way down to your hands, you don't know if it's from what the creature did or from something else, but you currently have stone claws at the moment.
okay. Two questions, or a question and a statement. Question.
Sure.
Would this require me to make a concentration save?
You did not take damage, so no.
Okay. And the statement is, if it is done with its turn, it can make a strength check to attempt to break out of the beard.
What's your D? Hold on before you roll that. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, is your DC 16 also? Jake?
I'm checking.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Does the cockatrice look strong?
Mine is
Yes.
my savings DC is 17.
Does the cockatrice look strong?
Yes.
Oh, okay, never mind then. I'm scared. I don't want to give it a 12.
So you're
Never
leaving-
mind.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's got a 22 on its save.
Oh,
Okay. It's able to break out of my binding beard.
It kind of like shuffles and pulls back, and you could have held on, but it might have meant having some of your beard ripped out of your face, and given that you're currently turning to stone, you are not too thrilled about that. Avtok, you're up.
This is not going well.
Can cockatrices fly? I know they have wings.
It does have wings.
I know, but not everything with wings can fly. Look at flocks of fine feathers.
Well, he doesn't actually have wings. He's a human. You did
He's
see
a human? This is in character. I know
Well,
that, but
to be
Avtok
fair-
has no idea he's human.
To be fair, the human is kind of the odd one out here.
the fenced-in yard did actually have like a wired.
Okay. Well, then I'm not going to put it up into the air. Screw it. I'm just going to do a 3rd level magic missile at this stupid thing. How many spikes? Or how many is that?
You can use your shield here. They're Ordo.
Yeah. How many is that? 3.
I mean,
4,
you're
5.
firing magic missile at the bird we're trying to catch for Joseph or Joseph or whatever his name is.
Don't worry, it's psychic damage. It won't kill it.
Jeffress.
Jeffress,
25 psychic damage.
How healthy does this cockatrice look?
It's
Very.
it's hurt bad.
It's hurt bad. Do I? Hold on. I'm gonna make a quick wisdom check. I think I'm gonna throw up my shield. I'm gonna protect the bird from Avtok's magic missiles.
Okay.
Which
I think you're
shield?
too stoned to think of that.
Which shield will completely block. I rolled with disadvantage and still rolled a 15 on my wisdom check.
I'm going to counterspell him.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can I counter?
This is the first
I
time
didn't
you
prepare it. Never mind. I don't have it. I didn't prepare it today.
Oh, okay.
You were going to counterspell his counterspell?
Yeah.
So
Man.
So as the pieces of my beard, my beard strands are falling away, and I see these magic missiles flying, I will absolutely reach out and surround it with this magical shield to protect it from the magic missiles.
So the 5 missiles kind of bounce harmlessly against the magical shield that has been put between Avtok and this incredibly large cockatrice. Does that end your turn, Avtok?
No, I'm going to stare daggers at Ordo.
All right. Is that a bonus action?
That's my indignant action.
All right. Well, after your indignant action is over, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
23.
23.
Sorry, I can't math. 22.
All right, that still passes. You watch as while your wound is still there, the last of the stone flecks have flaked off, and you are okay. Joshua.
All right.
Joshua, I have seen this.
I'm going to raise my sword, now realizing that I am capable of all the powerful magic, and scream my deepest dwarven scream, and swing my blade at the cockatrice.
I saw this happening. That's why I didn't prepare counterspell today. He's gonna get a nat 20 on his chaos bolt, and when it splits, it's hitting Ordo.
I got a nat 20 on my chaos bolt.
Did you really?
No, I just gave him it.
He gave him his nat 20 from his portent. I knew as soon as you said I've seen this, I'm like, dang it.
I totally wasn't paying attention. All right.
Cool question. Since I roll the damage twice on a crit, does that mean that the damage of the chaos bolts damage type is double, like 2 different types?
If you're critting with a spell, the spell is doubled. Yeah.
Yeah, just because when I roll, I choose one of the d8s to determine its type. Is it going to have 2 types, or
no? You still.
I'm just going to have more options to choose.
Yeah. No. You would roll the first one, choose what's there, and then double.
Gotcha. All right. 5 and a 6, so I could do lightning or poison. Lightning makes sense with this purple sky. So 14 lightning damage, and then I roll those dice again, or just double that?
Just double it. It's fine.
Okay, so 28 lightning damage. And
it's supposed to split.
I didn't roll the same number twice. Sorry, I got close.
Killing me, man.
All right, this thing is
love you, Jay.
in very bad shape.
I'm going to use my bonus actions to stare at my hands and be like, I didn't know I could do magic.
You don't look bruised or anything, do you?
I probably do. I probably look like I've been recently crushed by Ordo.
Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
We're supposed to capture it, not kill it.
Lox, you're up.
Remembering the mission and seeing that remembering the mission and seeing it's hurt enough. I'm gonna cast hypnotic pattern.
Okay.
I just failed my save.
What is the
wisdom?
It's going to be an 11.
Yes.
But as the spell goes off, out of the rocky outcropping, a vine reaches out towards Phlox. Does a 12 hit you?
A 12 does not.
So you manage to avoid getting snagged by this vine. And as it kind of lunges, swings out in your direction, it just kind of falls limp to the ground and just quickly vanishes.
Oh wow. I imagine I kind of do like a little 1-2 step to get out the way, almost like a matador.
All right, so it failed its save. What's going on?
It's incapacitated.
Okay.
Like, wait, all right, he's down. The collar.
Ordo.
I am going to run up to it and take this collar and put it around its neck.
All right, so the collar looks like it's designed for a regular sized cockatrice.
No
And
problem.
When you go to like apply it to the creature's neck, as you like your hand follows as just making contact with the creature, it slowly begins to shrink.
Okay, I was ready to cast Enlarge Reduce on it.
But so as you put it on, the thing latches. The little charm kind of dangles and clinks with metal as the cockatrice returns to no more than a 16-inch little lizard bird as it stands there, bleeding from a number of wounds, some coming from its ear holes.
We should probably do something about that.
Esper, never mind.
I'll cast healing word on it.
Wait, how? You have healing word?
Wait, how's my stone condition?
Yeah, you got to make another save.
Totally good, man.
It only got 4 points.
That's a con save?
Yes, sir.
So that's a digit. Let me see. Nine.
And this was you had gotten hit last round.
Yes.
And so you
From
failed
its scream.
Right. So you guys watch as Ordo kind of clicks this thing into place, and then he completely stops moving.
I will start ritual casting Tensor's floating disc so we can bring him back with us.
You've got a magnificent wonder beam statue at the moment.
I imagine he's still holding on to the incapacitated cockatrice, so it's like an instant prison.
I mean the bird is there, but it seems calm. And I use the term bird loosely.
I'm going to whisper into his petrified ear. I saw all this happening. I could have saved you from this, but you cast shield. And then I start walking back to where we're going, and the stupid thing follows me.
Chess, you are still having a little bit of stone. Let's get another roll from you.
Still at disadvantage?
No, the disadvantage is gone.
19.
19. All right, so you 2 successful passes, winds up having the last of stone fleck away. But you do look, and your one companion is in fact stoned.
Who is stone?
Ordo.
Oh my god, Ordo's stone.
He forgot to
Okay.
pass. It's puff, puff, pass.
This sword has got magical properties. Perhaps I can use it. And I'm going to hold it up as though ready to hit Ordo with it.
I will grab you by the face and shove you back.
Does all his stuff turn to stone too, or just his skin?
He is a stone statue. All the stuff on him is stone.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna try and trade him one of Ordo's wine bottles for the great sword.
Avtok, I need you to get back here. I'm not strong enough to lift him.
He's on a thing already.
Oh, okay.
So 10 minutes passes. The Tensor's floating disc, emerges, and with a little bit of effort, you're able to kind of push the statue over onto the disc. Who is managing the creature for this 10 minutes?
If he's still hypnotic pattern,
Well, how long does that last?
concentration up to 1 minute.
Yeah, well, for 10 minutes, it's taking
Yeah.
Avtok to cast a spell. So you got 9 minutes to kind of figure out, what's happening there.
Not it.
This sword has magic properties.
Is there a way that I can use knock to knock something out instead of unlock a door
I don't think so.
for the shot?
You know what? I'll have my familiar, like, kind of like cuckoo next to the miniature cockatrice. Hopefully, he's like friendly.
We just
All
put
right.
it in a sack.
Either make a for the bird. You can either make a charisma check or a wisdom check. Your call.
If you want, you can have a 12.
Charisma is the highest stat, so I'll make a charisma check. I'll take the 12.
What does that work out to be for the bird?
7. No.
I thought I dismissed my hound dog.
Well, apparently, while you failed to keep concentration, it apparently stayed and was kind of wandering around.
I was trying to herd the cockatrice to the right place.
So, Phlox, what does that work out to be?
Excuse me.
You got a 12 on the die for your charisma check for the bird.
Mhm.
What does that total work out to be?
Oh, the total is going to be 15. Sorry.
Wow, that's a pretty fancy bird. So you managed to occupy the cockatrice's attention for the duration of Avtok's casting, and then you begin to shove this dwarf onto the floating disc as all of you begin kind of heading back towards Jeffress's farm, with the saved cockatrice, the shrunk cockatrice, in tow. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, like, as like all this is happening, we're moving all the way back with a stone dwarf with a peacock dancing next to a cockatrice. Phlox is beginning to wonder, wow, this is not the mission I thought it was going to be.
So those of you who are not turned to stone, I need all of you to roll a d20.
Okay. 11.
18.
18.
12.
12. Frag. 1. That's what you do. All right. So
I was doing so good tonight too.
You want to take my inspiration?
No, the dice have spoken. Thank you though.
I mean, you gave me a 12, so it's the least I could do.
I can't have a whole session where I don't roll like crap, so
all right. So what at this moment, what object are you touching? Are you in contact with as you feel this pulse of energy?
ooh, let's look in my inventory.
And then the rest of you can all roll a d12 for me.
I would say I was either mid-drink of a bottle of wine or mid-writing notes with my quill in my book as my book's hovering beside me.
All right. Well, you can pick whichever of those objects you want.
I'll leave it up to the die.
Sure.
Even is the wine bottle, odd will be the quill. It's a 4. So what did I say? Wine bottle.
All right. So the wine bottle As you're holding it, you feel ambient magic kind of leach into it. Once and only once, you can actually use that bottle to cast your Tensor's Floating Disc spell.
Interesting. Can I just basically enlarge it and make it hover and then ride the bottle?
All right. But while this surge affects the rest of you, not in stone, each of you find ambient magic flow within the rest of you, and either an item on your person, just as happened to Avtok, is imbued with magic, or an item appears on you. And I'll totally allow you guys to choose exactly what happens. Chess, you find a vial, a small little glass vial full of what looks like blood in varying colors.
I like this.
Asa, you find, roll a d10 for me.
Okay. D10 came out to 4.
Or you find a purple gemstone within your person, and Phlox, you find what appears to be a bracelet made of like nasty hair wrapped around your left wrist.
I imagine Joshua goes to take a swig of his wine and then feels something hard in his mouth and spits out the gem.
Chess, you have a charm of Fey blood.
Sweet.
Joshua, you have a charm of energy. And Phlox, you have a charm of fortitude. And I can explain all of those off air.
Of all the times to roll like crap. No.
Well, I mean, as you know, you rolled a natural 1, it wound up causing a surge, and you still got something out of it.
I know, I'm just
not as fun.
Oh no, I'm gonna have fun with it. Assuming I don't lose it in my notes that I don't take.
That's why, if you make your character on D&D Beyond, you go to your notes section for, item.
I put it in other possessions.
Yeah, that's usually where I tend to go as well.
But apparently I have a vial of jellyfish stingers, a vial of seaweed, a vial of fish scales. I didn't know I had any of that.
Well,
I don't know why I have any of that.
I don't know. So you walk for the next hour or so, and a number of bizarre instances occur. The tendrils fall off of Joshua's face and his hair returns to normal.
I was just getting used to those.
I'll hand him the vial of jellyfish stingers.
Start sticking them to my face.
Can't say no.
A creature springs out of nowhere and it begins lunging in your direction, but before it can even make contact, a bolt of black and purple lightning comes down from the sky and strikes it, square on. The creature flails and flops. Its tail comes flying off, and like a fish out of water, kind of like flaps and moves for a bit before eventually lying still, but looks fine beyond the fact that it's been removed from the body. The body is charred beyond compare. Do you do anything with the tail?
I'll grab it, throw it on the Tensor's floating desk.
Eventually, you make your way back, and the farmhouse comes into view. Storm rolling on. You can see the rain off in the distance. You can begin to hear it as it begins making its way in your direction. you can hear almost a sizzle as the rain is hitting the ground not too far away. And you've heard acid hitting things and melting in combat. You're pretty sure this is a dangerous storm that is headed your way. Does the disc fly at a certain speed, or does it fly at whatever your movement is?
I believe it's 30 feet, but let me double check. Do. Elevation. Doesn't actually say it has a speed. It just can't move more than 20 feet away from me.
Okay, so
unless it's stopped by something, and then if I get more than 100 feet from it disappears.
I think that just means it presumably moves at your speed.
So yeah, that's the way I would say. So if you're able to kind of begin rushing, you're able to just get to the safety of the stone building before you all begin to hear as the rain hits the metal of the cockatrice coop and then the stone of the house. But you're all within Jeffress's house, safe and sound, with a stone dwarf and a cockatrice kind of nestled up with a peacock. Jeffress, of course, notices the dwarf before he notices the cockatrice. So tell me what happened out there.
You need to quit feeding the cock the blue pills.
You didn't mention it was going to be massive.
What do you mean massive?
When we found it, it was like 9 feet tall.
Doesn't look 9 feet tall now. What'd you do to her?
Well, didn't the collar do that?
The collar just calms down. She's kind of aggressive.
If I could hazard a guess, we are in a very chaotic waste. Perhaps it was the innate magic of this area?
I mean, all kinds of stuff happens. So let's see to your friend. And he walks over to the floating disc that just about runs out of its hour as clunk, Ordo hits the ground and just walks over with one stony finger, touches Ordo on his forehead, and you just kind of like watch as the stone flakes off, and you wind up hearing a breath come as Ordo is no longer stone, coughs, a number of stone flakes come out, and his tongue begins to move again.
Stone flakes, the breakfast of champions.
Yeah, there you go. So you're right there, and looking down at you, Ordo.
I will be.
I appreciate you all going out there and helping find. He kind of like pets the top of the cockatrice, and it winds up coming up and nuzzling against his leg, smearing all kinds of blood and whatnot all over him. Oh, she'll be all right. Always seems to get in a scrape here and there, but you guys did all right, so I'll absolutely stick to my word and tell you where to go. You might want to hunker down a bit here, get a rest before the storm takes off, and you can be on your way. I got some grub if you're all feeling a bit peckish.
That would be splendid.
Peckish.
Use some eggs.
Yeah, I could eat.
Guys wind up sharing a meal, and he begins telling some of the tale of this place and inquiring about the different kinds of magic that you've encountered within this place and possibly beyond. He shared some stories. You're kind of amazed at the fact that when he tells you that he's actually human and all of the ruddy appearance and the stone arm and a number of other odd magical effects that he seems to be able to do is all just from living and surviving at this place for the years that he has. The hours away, you're able to take a short rest should you so desire, and get ready to set out.
In that short rest, Joshua will be greatly studying this great sword that he took from that goblin or the hobgoblin a few sessions back, and looking it over, casting the identify spell, and just saying, I can't understand it. I can't seem to find any magical properties on this sword whatsoever.
Roll a d20.
At 12.
A 12.
Yeah. Have I figured out that it's not the sword? And it's me.
That's your call. I was having you roll for something else.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So as you're getting ready to set out, the sky, the storm clears. You don't get a rainbow, a typical real rainbow, but you do see a rainbow of colors as like a prism takes on the entire sky. And Jeffress points you about a day's walk that way. You're going to have to crest a hill, mountain, and in the valley, that is where this strange portal that you're looking for. Some refer to it as a screaming portal, the elemental bane, the changer. It's had many names, and it has done many things as it roams the valley. Can't talk. It has many names as it has done many things as it roams the valley within the ever-changing mountains. I saw it once many years ago when I was a younger man. Many that go in seeking this thing, but there's certainly not many that come out. So that's all the warning I can give you. And that is where we're going to go ahead and end it. And we'll see what this portal, this sigil, looks like next time.
Right.
So everybody who are watching, very much thank you for checking us out. We'll figure out when session 12 is and get another one of these sigils, one of these arcane vessels dealt with.
And see if Carlos is going to stick around. Is this group too close to getting you killed?
No, I actually took no damage. That whole fight is all my. I'm good.
Don't say that, or Ted tends to target you next session.
Nah. I just sometimes targets of opportunity. Sometimes it's who the creature thinks is the squishiest.
I thought the elephant man was squishiest.
Well, you look juicy.
Oh, okay, I'll give you that.
Joshua are like prime crunchy targets.
Pleasantly plump.
So as always, the links are in the description, not only to the wonderful people over at Easy Roller Dice, but where you might be able to find these people all over the internet, whether it be their Amazon page, their Twitch page, their YouTube page. There's definitely ways to go check them out and share the love with all of their great channels and stuff, because they wouldn't be here if I didn't think they were awesome people. So exactly. You're awesome too. You just don't have anything to kind of promote and do. You're just here. So without further ado, thanks for joining us. And until next time, stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Stay nerdy.
Hey, nerdy.